Two of my favorite things, God's Word and fishing. And I didn't even decide to combine the two. It wasn't my idea. In fact, I was reading my daily devotions. I was in the Word yesterday, came across a passage that hit me like a ton of bricks. So I thought I'd share it with you. Matthew chapter 17. Jesus, in this chapter earlier, was transfigured, was glorified in front of his disciples on top of the mountain. They're coming down. Jesus heals a boy possessed by a demon, causing him epileptic seizures. Then they come to a town called Capernaum. And we read in verse 24 of chapter 17. After Jesus and his disciples arrived in Capernaum, the collectors of the 2 drachma tax came to Peter and asked, "Doesn't your teacher pay the temple tax?" "Yes, he does," he replied. When Peter came into the house, Jesus was the first to speak. "What do you think, Simon?" he asked. "From whom do the kings of the earth collect duty and taxes? From their own sons or from others?" "From others," Peter answered. "Then the sons are exempt," Jesus said to him, or in other words, they're free. "But so that we may not offend them, go to the lake and throw out your line. Take the first fish that you catch. Open its mouth, and you will find a 4 drachma coin. Take it and give it to them for my tax and for yours." Man. I don't know how I didn't catch that before. Literally, how I didn't catch it. There's so much packed into that little section. First of all, Jesus is asking Peter, who he clearly knows is going to be miffed about this whole ordeal. Now, these aren't the Romans. They're not hassling them for taxes that they feel they shouldn't have to pay. These are Jews collecting. The drachma tax was about a day's wages or 2, and it was to keep the temple going. It's to keep the church going in their culture. But Peter didn't like the way that the guy asked, and he didn't like that it was of the most importance, rather than trying to hear what Jesus was teaching first. But Jesus answers Peter so gently. He says, yes, it's true. We're sons of the temple. We're Jews. And so we're free. We're free to do that. I think it's interesting in this time right now, this time when we have to wear masks to go to the store or keep social distancing for the safety of ourselves and others. We don't have to do that. If we really didn't want to, there's no law in place that says we cannot. We're free. But God says, use your freedom. Use your freedom to exercise love and glorify God in the process. Do it out of love in your freedom. That goes for upholding social requirements, going to church, or even the church, even keeping the church going. Paying the temple tax, if you will. We don't have to put anything in the offering plate at all to go to church. But Jesus says, do it out of love. Do it out of love, and I will provide for you. He's not saying here that he's always going to work a miracle to get you out of a scrape. But what he will do is whatever it takes to help you pursue the path of freedom and sacrificial love that may seem impossible to you. It may seem impossible, but God will provide. He's faithful. And he wants you not out of obligation, but out of love to uphold the things that we're being asked to do in society, to continue giving to the church, to do things that we think might be impossible. And in it, he will provide for us. Let's see. Nope. No miracles for me today. No fish with money in their mouth, especially not 4 days worth of work, wages. But I know that just like the birds that sing, just like nature all around me, God will provide. And he'll provide for you this day as well.